Hey, welcome to the studio of Carini Arts. I was going to say happy Friday, but it is not Friday. It is Thursday. But wherever you may be watching it, it may be a different day. I apologize for the graininess. It's getting a little late. I was in the studio painting up a storm. I've been creating nonstop for days, weeks, months now. So a lot of stuff going on. But one of the things I want to tell you about is you check out CariniArts.com for my shop, my blog, my podcast. You can also find me on Instagram at Acrylic Alchemy and on Facebook at Carini Arts. And I recently, can I help you? Did you hear? Did you have something? Speaking to the microphone. Uh, I recently created a new group on Facebook called A Safe Place for Artists of All Types. And I invite you to join me there, which kind of brings me into my topic for today. And that is the idea that other artists are not your competition. Now, I remember coming up through school, and we naturally want to compare ourselves to other people and gauge where we are. And we also want to be better. And there was a time where I was a bit more on the petty and immature side in the sense that I didn't want other people to be better than me, but then I changed my perspective over time and realized that I just needed to better myself, improve myself. And in improving myself, I started to realize that other artists were not my competition. Now, what I do notice is that there are a lot of people out there, a lot of artists that do view other artists as competition. Now, yes, are there competitive atmospheres in terms of applying to schools when there's only one spot open for position in an MFA program? Absolutely. And juried shows, are we competing to get in? And in a sense, yes. But those other artists are not your enemy. They are your advocates and they are your allies, or at least they should be and could be. So that's one of the reasons that I decided to create a group for other artists on Facebook. I wanted other artists to have a platform, to have their place in the spotlight. And it's one of the reasons why over the course of my career I've never been interested in being a juror for any types of art shows. Is I don't want to be the person that tells an artist, "Hey, you were good enough. Hey, you were not good enough." I don't want to be the person to quell or suppress their dream in any manner of speaking. I want to be an advocate of the art, somebody that supports the art, somebody that supports other artists, that lifts them up. And I know there are a lot of artists out there that talk about, oh, this is proprietary. I don't share how I do that type of technique, or I don't share this information. And there's some things that I do that maybe I speak on a little bit less because they are sort of special or near and dear to my heart. But for the most part, I'm okay with sharing techniques and process with other artists because I know how difficult the journey was for me, but also because what I truly bring to my art that is unique, and same with you, is my soul, my energy. And so even if I teach another artist my techniques, nobody else can take my soul, can take my energy, can take the fluidity of my work or the lack thereof at certain times. So I feel like I have my signature style. And even if other people try to emulate my techniques, that there's no reason to be concerned about that. I'm on a mission to share everything that I can to help other artists so that they can find their own unique voices on their own journeys. And so I have no concern of plagiarism or people copying my style or anything of that nature. And I believe in sharing the information. I know how much money I spent on my art education. I'm thankful that I got it. I'm thankful that I took the path that I took, but it was expensive. And I'm thankful that I'm blessed that I was able to pay off my student loans 10 years early, bypassing a lot of the interest because so many people are just buried in interest these days. But to be able to buy my freedom. And so I love to share that story with other artists to encourage them on their own journeys. And I remember in school as an undergraduate, one of the things we heard, statistically speaking, was that 5 years after graduation, only about 5% of those artists would still be making art. And then when you went on to graduate school, only 5% of those people would still be making art. And I don't know how accurate that is, but I think the premise of it is absolutely accurate. I think that a lot of people quit, a lot of people give up. And I want to encourage other artists to be the best versions of themselves. And I think that that bolsters and encourages me to continue to grow and to try to be a better version of myself. So rather than hoping that other people fail, or fall, or that you're just better than them, or that they fall off, why not work on raising yourself up as opposed to tearing other people down? So that's my philosophy on art. And my approach to it is one of encouragement and helping people on their journey, because you never know when you're going to stumble and you may need somebody to pick you up. So maybe some of these people that you try to help on your journey, maybe some of the people that I try to help on my journey, will at some point cycle around and be there to pick me up on a day that I'm struggling or that I'm not feeling it or that I'm questioning my value or my worth or something of that nature. So again, I just want to reiterate that maybe you need to change your perception of art and artists and realize that other artists are not your competition, that if we work together, we can really do a lot. And I think that with the somewhat limited opportunities for artists and in the world that we live in, it is very difficult to be a full-time artist. But I have found that the things that work best is when we work in conjunction with each other in a sense of balanced reciprocity and helping each other out. So I want to encourage you to help out other artists, to share the work of other artists, to share information, to share techniques. Let's all grow together and lift each other up instead of trying to tear each other down. So I know that in most aspects of life, it sounds a little weird to say that, but I think that it is absolutely pertinent when it comes to art, and an apt message that we can lift each other up and grow together. So, not your competition, they can be your greatest advocates. So, have a great day, stay safe, be well. Check out CariniArts.com. Join me on Instagram at Acrylic Alchemy, on Facebook at Carini Arts, and feel free to join my art group, a safe space for artists of all types. Have a great day. See you next time.